All right, Dave, gonna bring you back in here. I think the internet might have crashed on me, since I am running it all on my own here, and then also, it's not the usual internet speed that I'm probably used to over here at the different place. But I'm gonna bring you back in here, getting the stream started up once again here. Apologies for the technical difficulties, everybody. Just bringing in Dave here in just a moment. Hopefully you guys can see me and hear me. Okay, hopefully that doesn't have to happen again. Ein Moment, please, everybody. Again, apologies for the technical difficulties. Can't really make any excuses for Spurs, but I'm trying now to make excuses for myself here. In a way, I think I do have one. I'm not usually at the usual setup that I normally have. I don't have the normal speed that I normally do, and it's really just being run entirely all on my own here, so I'm going to try to do the best I very can. Trying to bring you in here. For some reason you're not popping up on screen. Trying. Let me try this again. Just bring it in here, Dave, everybody. It looks like a Basuma goal has happened, and I'm sorry I've had to miss it. I'm just trying to scramble here and put everything together. I apologize, everybody. All right, Dave is back, and we are back, and it looks like we've already missed the first goal. We missed 20 minutes of the game because the Spurs play. Sorry, everybody. I don't know really what to tell you. Like I said, trying to do everything on my own here. Internet seemed to have crashed on me, and I don't really know what else I could have done, really, but look, we'll try our best from here on out.
Look, let's put it to one side. It's preseason. It's we're ironing out all the kinks. Just put it to one side. Let's enjoy the rest of the game. Great goal from Basuma, by the way. Picks up the ball, beats that Jonathan Woodgate wannabe. Plays a lovely 1-2 with Kulusevski. And then does a Davy Harris special. Just ball rolls the keeper, rounds him, puts it in the back of the net. Absolutely brilliant goal from Yves Basuma. And we've seen a lot of this earlier on in last season. He lost his way during the season. Didn't see as much of it. Good to see him get it back here, though. It's a good ball across. Timo Werner's just taken off his head. That's good defending. Very good defending. I just wonder, when are we going to get the answer that Werner, Johnson and Son is a stale forward line, and let's try something a little bit different. It's crying out for investment in the forward area, guys. Crying out for it.
About good to get synced up with the clock here, everybody, as well, so please sync up if you can. Again, apologies here, but you can get synced up if you would like to. Now we're on 42:20. Clock should be synced. Scoreboard is set. And we are back.
Good to see you all coming back in with us. Tottenham on the break here, though. It's unlucky. It's good endeavour there, though, by Pappy. Good honest work rate. That's all we can ask for. What a goal from Basuma, though, guys. What a finish. Rounding the keeper and everything. That's just that touch of quality, that je ne sais quoi that Davey loves. Tottenham getting good pressure on here. Looks like they've woken up a little bit. Probably know they're going to get a rollicking at half-time. That's why.
Yeah, everybody was saying we were quite shit for a period while we were gone.
Yeah, we just need to realise that this forward line of Werner, Son and Johnson, it's stale. It's just stale. It's just no fluidity to it. Porro. It's a ball over the top. In behind for Brennan Johnson. Can he make me eat my words?
Top of the ball!
Oh, who's missed that? Sonny.
Into the penalty area. Sonny, it feels like he didn't make contact with it.
Put the ball through the corridor of uncertainty is what they call it in football nowadays, between the keeper and the back line. Right across the 6-yard box. He's about 3 yards out.
Hard to know if even he made contact with it. Hard to even know. It's hard to know if he made contact there.
It's better from Brennan Johnson. Much better from Johnson. Why are we getting admired the QPR defender, you idiot cameraman? He's pissing me off today. Not only can he not get his job right, he can't even follow the ball. That's shocking from Spurs play. We demand the refund. One more minute till half-time. Not happy with the Bergvall injury as well. We'll talk about that at half-time. Talk about the Basuma goal. And then maybe about the front line as well, guys. And anything else you want us to talk about, please help us along with this stream. This is what it's all about, the interaction, the family that we're creating here. Get your talking points in that you want us to discuss. It looks like the Jonathan Woodgate wannabe is on the free kick, Jack. It's a good delivery. It's cleared. Well done, Tottenham. Everyone slowly and surely getting back in. Really appreciate all you guys getting back in here. Really do appreciate it. Much love to all of you. Shows how much you really enjoy, our company. We enjoy your company. And it's Kulu Sexy on the breakaway. That's a lovely outside of the ball boot. He's in here. It's Teeny Weenie.
Timo Weenie.
Oh. No. I don't even know why I got excited. I nearly got Werner on the dance floor there. It wasn't quite to be. Probably should have scored. Let's see that again. It's a bloody great ball from Kulusevski. Chuje, let me know your thoughts on that one in the comments below. It's just 2 bad touches from Werner and a shit finish, to be brutally honest with you. He almost spurned the chance himself with the first 2 touches, taking it away from goal. And there we are, guys. It is half-time. Tottenham 1 goal to the good. I suspect we're going to see a hell of a lot of changes here now at half-time, and regularly changes probably throughout the half as well. But Jack, I suppose there's a couple of talking points. Bergvall coming off with what looks like a hamstring injury. How disappointing it is for the kid considering such a bright start that he made to the game for what we seen before Spurs play went down.
Yeah, I mean, you made the point that he's clearly trusted by a lot of the players. He had a lot of confidence in the way that he was playing. He was looking to pick up the ball off of the midfielders, off of the center backs. He likes to drop deep, and he plays the ball forward, and he likes to be progressive with it and positive with the ball at his feet, Bergvall. And unfortunately, Spurs play kind of dropped the ball there, and then we weren't able to see what actually happened to him. And then I sort of dropped the ball and wasn't able to see what happened after that. But I'm kind of disappointed by just the fact that it's only a preseason game. It's not even a Premier League game, and he's picked up an injury like this. I just think that can be a real frustrating thing to happen to a player, because in these sort of games, it's not really when you expect injuries. It's more kind of towards the beginning of the season is when you maybe expect injuries to happen, where players are playing at a more intense speed that maybe they're not used to. And at this point in time, it's really more just about getting minutes under your legs, trying to, like we're doing, iron out the kinks and that type of thing, right? It's just frustrating, I think, for Bergvall. And he looked to be really good in possession, and he's clearly trusted, like you brought up, by a lot of his fellow teammates, because he's obviously a very talented player. I wish I got to see more of him, and I hope it's nothing too serious. He was able to walk off the pitch, which is always a good sign. If you're not having to be stretchered off, that at least usually means, by Dave and I's medical degrees of being Spurs fans, that usually means it's nothing too serious if you don't have to be stretchered off and you can walk yourself off. He obviously looked frustrated. Nick Carey in the chat saying something hamstring related. That's not always good, because that can mean something very long. It can mean something maybe not too long, but always can be serious, because hamstring problems, at least to my knowledge, are not really things that always go away super easily. It's kind of an injury that seems to bother certain players for a long time if they pick them up. And I only wish the best for Bergvall and hope it's just nothing too serious. It's nice to see that we're 1-0 up, though, and we ended up actually getting a goal here. My question then to you, Dave, if I were to fire a question back at you, was this any better from what you could tell from the minutes that you were able to watch? Was this any better or any worse than the game against Hearts? Because it felt like, some people were a little disappointed or a little underwhelmed by this first half. Was it more disappointing or more underwhelming than the first half against Hearts?
Look, I think it was a lot more brighter in terms of the start. I think there was a lot more intensity to it in and out of possession. There was a lot more intent going forward as well. However, it's just the same shit. We were barely able to cut teams open last season, Premier League teams. And, some of our best players have barely been able to cut open a Hearts back front line and a QPR back front line. Yeah, we can sit here and say it's pre-season, but I'm sorry, it's inexcusable. It's not good enough. They're games that we should be ripping apart and building our confidence heading before we head on the tour. That's what they're sort of designed to do. That's why they're hand-picked to that degree. And I just feel like we keep persisting with a forward line that's just stale. And Werner, Son and Johnson, we know it doesn't work. I get what Andrew's trying to do, put them out there and try and get something out of them. And yeah, of course, we know we need signings. but try some different variations. Put Kulusevski through the middle, put some back out on the left, and try someone else back out on the right. Just try some different variations. It's clear that it's not working. It doesn't create enough, and when we do create, they don't take enough opportunities. Son's squandered a few. Werner near the end, 2 poor touches that took him away. That's why, he's been moved position out to left, because he's not a striker anyway. Johnson, couple of good crosses in there, but then, there's other opportunities he's had where it's been very underwhelming, and it's just, there's no fluidity to that front three. The defence is fine, the midfield is done fine in terms of getting the ball there, but when we get up to the front line, we just lack ideas, lack a bit of creativity, maybe playing within ourselves, maybe the confidence is gone. You seen the youngsters there in the second half last week, Jack. They went out and absolutely slapped Hearts. Okay, Hearts made changes to that second half team, but they still went at their throat and cut them open with ease, by trying things, putting ball in the box. There was some synchronised moves going on. It seems like it's good moves through the midfield. As soon as it gets to the front line, it's breaking down somewhere along, and it's not good enough. And I do not want to see this front line persist. It is not good enough. Yeah. It's not Premier League standard, and it's not good enough to help us achieve better than 5th than where we finished last season in the Premier League, and help us go and win cup competitions. It needs to be changed. I'm going to email Ange after this.
I think, to be honest, the players I'm more frustrated with, from what I could tell, was kind of the Timo Weenies and the Brennan Johnsons of the world, really, because they get into the final third and they're kind of more or less doing some of the same things that they did last season, where they find themselves in good areas and you expect a really good cross or you expect a good chance to be created, and yet they balloon it out of bounds, or they end up just making a complete meal of it. And like you say, Dave, if you actually want to read into it a bit deeper, that's been something that kind of frustrated us in the bigger games from last season, when when they did find themselves in those good areas. They often were found wanting Brendan Johnson and Timo Weenie, and I think there were some chances that we could have put away actually from some missed crosses into the box. So from what I could actually watch of the game, from what little I watched of the game, there were actually some areas in the final third that we probably could have done a bit better. Some people in the chat were mentioning that the midfield had gone a bit missing. I'm not really sure if I can comment on that, but it's good to know that also the midfield might have been experiencing some problems. I only saw that from a few people in the chat, but I, definitely trust a lot of you guys and what you guys have been watching, what you guys have been seeing. So let me know, everybody. Have you been seeing some issues in midfield as well? I think typical with the forward line that they have been a bit wasteful, that they aren't really always the most convincing, but are there other areas in the pitch that could be doing a bit better and helping the team function as a whole? Drew Zilla saying, let's be realistic. Some of these players have only played, some of these younger players have only played barely 45 minutes in their legs, a game and a half into preseason, and some people are already moaning. I think with the younger players, Drew, I'm not going to really get on their back too much. Like Donnelly, guys like that, Archie Gray, like playing out of position. Those are the players I'm going to have a lot of time and patience. A lot of time and patience for. But guys, like I said, with Johnson, maybe even a Basuma, Timo Weenie, those sort of players, I'm just, those are the ones I'm going to probably get a little bit more frustrated with. And I understand, right, it's preseason, they're only getting minutes into their legs, but when they are kind of making some of the same exact mistakes or wasting some of the same exact chances that they did from last season, it only kind of reminds you of some of the haunting performances that they did have, where you were left frustrated and you were left kind of scratching your head as to how they are messing up some of these moments. But I agree with you. You can't look at it all kind of the same. I think I'm only going to really pick out more individual players that I might say I'd expect a little bit better from. But this is what preseason's all about. It is about kind of fleshing out mistakes. It is about getting into the system. And at least we find ourselves 1-0 up to the good. And there are plenty of opportunities for some impacts to be made at halftime from Jed Spence and plenty of other guys that had a brilliant second half.
I also would like to add to that. Look, Drew, I'm 100% with you. I don't want to be moaning. I don't want to do another year of this. It is draining. But at the end of the day, when things go wrong, people are going to criticize. It's just a natural way of life. And I also don't want to conflate it that we're moaning, because we're not. There's plenty of praise that we've given them, plenty of things that we've pulled out since the Hearts game, to be able to praise on some of the youngsters, the performances that they put in, some individual performances as well, Jed Spence's performance as well. I think there is plenty of positives. I don't want to get too carried away, but the forward line is somewhere we knew coming into this summer we need improving. and it hasn't been improved. And we're stuck here in pre-season again with the same forward line. And I get that it's only pre-season, but when we go into the Premier League and that, we're going to come up against a better caliber of opposition. And although these players might be a bit fitter and stuff like that, it's not going to change, them being able to cross a ball, them being able to finish a ball, them being able to link up with each other. If they can't do it in games like this, it's not going to happen in the bigger games. And that's my concern. It didn't happen last season. And also, there's one other thing is, you look at some of the youngsters, probably why they look so far, more impressive than the first team against Hearts in Wednesday night, is because they've come out with a point to prove. But I also expect Maddison to come out with a point to prove, which he hasn't. I expect, Werner to come out with a point to prove, which he hasn't. I expect Johnson to come out with a point to prove, which he hasn't. And it almost feels like they're taking the foot off the gas. And I'm only highlighting these concerns because I don't want another manager to be the fall guy as soon as the season starts and things go wrong. You know what I mean? We need areas to be addressed to be able to create competition. And there's only so much Ange Postecoglou can do. Transfers have to do their part as well to create that competition. I just think it's worth highlighting. I don't want to grate on it too long, and I'm not. I'm going to enjoy the second 45 minutes when it comes about. But there's plenty of positives as well to take away. So, Drew, I don't want you to get that maybe misconflated, my man.
Absolutely. Kate Wrexham saying, well said, Dave. Mark Cook, big up, lads. Hope you're both well. Member for 7 months as a Flat Cap member. Thank you for your support, Mark. Apologies about the technical difficulties, my friend, if you were experiencing those earlier, both on Spurs' end as well as on our end. But we're back together, back at halftime. Donovan Osterreicher's in the house. Good to see you, Dono Vision. Hey, my man, I'm over on the West Coast. I know you're up in Canada on the west side. I think Edmonton, right, if that's correct. I know we're not exactly too close to each other, but we are technically closer than we ever were before. So if you ever do find yourself over in Washington State, my friend, feel free to give me a heads up and give me a hello. Would love to meet you in person. Nick Carey saying we cannot start this season with Timo as our first choice left wing. It's criminal if we do. 2J saying I do speak some Greek. Maybe I can get through to Ange and tell him that Werner is just not the one. I'm looking forward to seeing some impacts in the second half from various players from the forward line. We have guys like Mikey Moore who can come on, 2J, as well as Shawnee Maddox, Longy, Iceman, so many guys that can come on into in the second half here that can make an impact. Jet Spence is a great option as well. Dave and I made a video just put out this morning. Hopefully you guys received it well. I saw that some of the comments were saying Jet Spence didn't even get a first chance. I understand the point, but I think it was just us sort of trying to come up with a snazzy title, I think, for our man Jet Spence. So we apologize. Maybe we got too focused with the snazzy title than really the realism of the fact that Jet Spence has been a bit hard done by during his time here. But I'd like to see him being given an opportunity here in the second half and see what he's all about, see what he's made of. Dave, impact subs, what would you like to see?
Look, I would like to see Jed Spence in the second half down that right-hand side. Of one thing I think we take from the Hearts game, he injected energy, right? He injected that burst, that maybe transition at the speed of light from defence to attack. If you can get that back in there, that might help. I would like to see maybe Will Lancashire coming up front. Son, he's going to play on the tour, no problem about that. His finishing's going to come. I have no concerns about that. But I would like to see if Will Lancashire can maybe get himself a seat on the plane. Second half, I would actually like to see Donnelly come in one of the forward areas and actually be given an opportunity to show what he can do there. I feel like it's unfair on the kid that he's almost being shoehorned out to the left. But also Alfie Devine Jack, I thought one of his performances midweek actually went under the radar. I thought he was superb, actually, when I look back through the game. When I remember watching with you there the other day, he was actually superb in the midfield. I wouldn't mind seeing him get minutes. Of course, Ashley Phillips in that back line as well. Max Robson maybe coming in at left back. Let's wait and see. I'd expect a whole new 11. I don't want to see Alfie Whiteman. It's a pointless exercise. He's only here for box-taking exercises. The only thing he done last week was hoof the ball straight out to play. I was looking at it, I was like, if I'm a rugby coach, I'm taking him as my kicker. That's absolutely expert. That's what you do in rugby, not football. He's playing the wrong sport. But I'm excited to see if these youths can come out here and prove a point again. And the biggest one, Tyrese Hall. Not only is the guy humble and has been to his local school, giving them Spurs stuff, to be able to auction off to raise money for the school, and putting that money back into our youth who are going to, dictate our future and stuff like that in years to come. Absolutely love that from young Tyrese Hall. It's brilliant. And he was superb last week. One thing I loved about him was one touch, boom, get playing, go forward. Didn't need to hold on to the ball, didn't need to dribble it. So I want to see more of that, Jacko.
Absolutely. Tyrese Hall, class kid in real life and also a classy player on the pitch as well. Looking forward to seeing him being given more minutes and more opportunities in a Spurs shirt. If you wanted to have any clue onto the stats here, everyone, looks like QPR were able to muster 3 shots and 1 on target compared to Spurs' 6 shots and 3 on target. We've had 61% possession to their 39%. And as well, it looks like we have committed more fouls and not even too many corners, actually. QPR has actually had more corners than us, and it doesn't really look like on paper by the stats that it was really the most dominating of performances by Spurs in that first half. So you hope to see that we would have a bit more onus, a bit more influence on the game in the second half here, and that could likely come through some of the subs. And I'd love to see some of the players that Dave mentioned with Jet Spence, Mikey Moore, Tyrese Hall, so many good options off of there. I mean, there's no excuse not to see them being given a chance and to see if they can actually make an impact here and see if they can turn things around, because we did see a bit of a night in, I mean, maybe the first half against Hearts was a tad better than what we just saw this game, but I do feel like there's a chance that we could get another really big resurgence in the second half, led by the youngsters, guys that have pretty much nothing to lose. It's a free hit for them. Some of them are very confident players where they don't really care much about, missing opportunities or anything like that. They just want to be out there. They just want to be playing. They want to be given minutes. And that's really all you can hope for some of these younger guys. And they did so well last time out. If they were able to do anything close, even a fraction of what they did in the second half against Hearts, I think Spurs go on and they have another convincing second half and hopefully then a convincing win from it. But let's hope that we do get that impact subs from Ange here in the second half. I'm looking forward to seeing some of our youngsters shine. But anybody, feel free to let us know if there's, any points or any talking points that you'd like us to discuss. Some people are saying Brandon Austin has actually looked okay in these past 2 games, making some pretty decent saves. What do you make of that, Dave? Brandon Austin, someone who you and I have always been a bit confused about, him and Alfie Whiteman, how they're still here being used as these homegrown pawns. But maybe Brandon Austin actually does have more of a chance as a homegrown pawn than we thought.
Yeah, he does, but you know what? He played last preseason, didn't he? And then he just went into obscurity again. He's only filling in because Vicario's not here. We're not sure what the story is with Fraser Forrester. Is he still carrying an injury? Is there plans to even use him? We're not quite so sure on that. So that's why he's getting his opportunity. But you know what, Jack? All you can do is take it, right? And he's done that over the last 45 minutes, and fair play to him, Maybe he's put it out there that he's a bit better than maybe what people thought. And look, if I'm America, one of them MLS teams, I'll be bringing him over and saying, look, we need to get you in the team instead of that idiot Matt Turner. He's bloody useless. So, fair play to the kid. All you can ask is that he takes his opportunities, and he's done it.
Yeah. And also, everybody, really do appreciate your guys' patience with us. Looks like we already back to well over 230 in the house. So just want to say, really appreciate you guys. If you can for us, smash that like button. Hopefully you have been enjoying the commentary when you have been hearing it. Luckily, we didn't have to lean on too much food trivia for Dave during that point when Spurs play. Had a bit of a mishap, and hopefully we don't have to do that again. People are saying that King Hoddle saying too much moaning, even with the stats. I don't think we were trying to moan too much actually about the stats. Maybe he's probably referring more to just the general Spurs populace. I think I was just trying to point out, King Hoddle, that I feel like it could be a bit better. I think the second half, there's a chance that Spurs could have a more dominating performance. And by the looks of the stats, yes, we are, by the looks of it, the better team. But I think it could be a bit better. I think there could be a bit more influence, a bit more domination in this game. Not really by the tone of my voice, though, sounding like I'm really complaining all too much. I think I'm just kind of picking out little bits and pieces that I think could be a tad better in the second half.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Look, we're not mourning. Like, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of positives, and we spoke about them. But, we're here to analyse the game. We're here to analyse what we see in front of us. Here to maybe pull things out that maybe could be a problem if we don't get sorted. Here to praise things that maybe we don't see. This is what we do. This is what we're here to do, is analyse the game. I know it may come across as moaning and stuff like that, but I stand by my point that I expected some of them players to come out with more of a point to prove and maybe haven't done it. And is it that, some of them are getting too comfortable, but likely it's equally there's been some great praise for some of our youngsters and stuff like that. Yeah. Brandon Austin, who's took his opportunity. So I think it's fair analysis personally.
And Mikey Moore already with a chance. He tried to slide it across the box, just overhit, and Spurs starting bright.
Jedi's on. Come on, Jed.
The Jedi is on.
I'll go and get the substitutions for everybody now.
Dave's on the case here, everybody, working hard for us on the halftime subs. And also, anybody, let us know. Anybody's too loud, anybody's too quiet, that sort of thing would be a massive help to us to make your watching experience just a bit better for you.
Right, so Dejan Kulusevski is on, and Basuma's no, they haven't done the update of the subs yet. Give me a moment, guys. As soon as they're updated, I'll let you guys know.
Paul Connor
Looks
saying
like Abbott's on
Lankshear's
as
up
well.
front. Lankshear's up front, and Luka Gunter has been putting goals.
Luka Gunter's in goals. Emerson's at centre back along with Phillips. Looks like that's Devine on the ball again. Abbott's in there as well. Jed Spence is on.
Madison is on, it looks like. He's playing as an attacking midfielder on this left side. Alfie Devine, though, is playing quite closely to him, so we get to see a different combination of midfielders. I don't think Madison and Devine played together last time.
Come on, let's get off the Jedi.
Austin
We want the
Porro
redemption.
and Gray were taken off.
Let me see if it's been
Ooh,
updated
lovely
yet.
move here. Who's this? That was a lovely play.
Oh, go on, unlucky kid. It's just cleared. Ashley Phillips plucks it down out of the
Nice
air on
touch.
the chest.
Oh, brilliant
And a
pass
great
as well.
pass.
And Madison, so much space
What's
here
Madison
for
going
Madison.
to do?
Can he
Oh, it's a
find
good ball to
someone?
Lankshear.
Get out!
Where's the keeper gets it across? Unlucky. This is a good start to the second half
try
of
from
Tottenham. Nice
Lankshear.
and bright.
He went
He
for
tried
the
to
Dave
round the
Harris.
keeper.
He went for the Dave
Yeah, he
Harris,
tried
tried
to
to
do
round the
Dave
keeper.
Harris.
He needs to chip him, though. That's what Dave would do. You know, he rounds the keeper, and then you chip him afterwards. It's a tough angle,
Seems to be the focus at Tottenham. Wasn't it Feeney that done one for the under in the academy there last week in training? You know, Basuma today, Lankshire's trying it. They love the old Davy move.
Bringing back the Dave Harris. Mikey Moore. Into Devine. George Abbott looks like he's into the team as well.
Yeah, he's in. I'm still waiting for the updates to come in, but I think we've pretty much got the team. Gunter at centre back. We've got Emerson and Phillips at centre back.
Jed Spence
That's
and
naughty
Mikey.
from Spence.
Oh, lovely
that's another
play.
great ball as well. Mikey Moore says to Will
across
Lankshear,
the
lead against
box.
the cross.
No.
That's absolutely phenomenal play by Jed Spence yet again.
Him and Mikey Moore, Dave. It's like they were born together, the way they're
That's
playing.
Solomon. Is Solomon out there? No, maybe not.
I think this is Devine. Madison and Devine have been combining well. It's just amazing how well Mikey Moore and Jed Spence have been playing together. Madison gives it away, though. And it's a counterattack here for QPR. Royale having to recover. Well done by Emerson. Good defending there, forcing the QPR player to touch it out of bounds. Slick Jed, slick.
So, guys, second half lineup is Luka Gunter in goal, Spence at right back, Royale and Phillips centre back, Abbott's gone in at left back, Kulusevski, Devine and Madison through the middle, Moore on the right, Solomon on the left with Lankshear out front. Jack, I'm going to tag you in it on Twitter if you want to upload it. If you don't, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I probably missed a tweet or two from, I imagine, the Alistair Golds of the world.
I've
AK
tagged you in
Shags,
it there.
happy clapper in the house. Good to see you, AK.
Big up, AK. Your comment at half-time on when the game glitch absolutely killed me with the two guys. Brilliant. Jed Spence, well done again.
Second
Emerson.
half starting 11 for Spurs is Gunter in goals, Spence at right back, Royale at right side at center back. We have Phillips at left side at center back. Abbott maybe coming in as a left back, which is interesting. Then we have Kulusevski, Devine, and Madison in midfield with Moore, Lankshear, and Solomon. Good eye there, Dave. Solomon up top, and here he is, Solomon. Good feet.
Jed Spence marauding forward again. Brilliant. Well done, Solomon.
Abbott.
Good ball out to Abbott.
Madison. Into Devine. Good eye, Dave, on spotting Solomon.
Thank you, lad. I thought it was
Devine,
the jib of
good
him, all
feet.
right. Well done, Devine.
Cheeky. If he pulled off that Meg there, it would have been nasty.
Yeah, that would have been nice. We're looking good this second half. Hopefully we see some goals here.
QPR manager is a little too much at the beach with that outfit, if you ask me. Surely it's not that warm.
Feels like he's in Greece on holidays or something like that. It looks like
the running outfit
Spain
I had the other
like
day, Dave. Looks like he's about to head
looks
out
like
for
Simon
a jog.
Cowell with the shirt on. So he does. The hair coming out.
Nice
good ball.
pass into Madison. Can he find
Good
Abbott?
turn.
Yes, he does. Abbott now.
Good
Out
ball.
wide to Solomon. Solomon.
Got in.
Into
ball,
Abbott, Madison.
Move out of Abbott's way, Madison. Let him do it. Get in his way.
I could agree with that, but I think Solomon had the chance to be selfish there, and he probably could have actually looked to have a shot on goal. He had so much space. There was no reason to play anybody in behind.
Do you know what, though? I'm delighted to see Solomon get some minutes, to try and get back into it. Full fitness. He's out for nearly 2 years now, on and off. Spence,
good ball.
Oh, it's just cleared the back post.
Just slightly overhit. If not, it probably wasn't even overhit. It was actually well placed by Jed Spence. Once again,
if he scores an assist today, I'm going to lose my mind.
Let us know what you thought of our Jed Spence video, everybody, if you were able to catch that. I thought that was very well timed by Dave to come up with that just in time for this game and just in general. It's definitely the time to talk about Jed Spence. So let us know if you thought of that, if you were able to catch that video.
Do you know, it was one I actually had planned to do while you were away. I just didn't get round to it. So it's actually perfect timing. With Spence playing well, it's a good ball in again. It's cleared. And it's gone out for a Tottenham throw. And he's just a constant menace down this right-hand side at the minute. I think that's Clark Salter, is it? He's finding it hard to maybe deal with what's coming down there.
Dark Sun G, good to see you, sir. Really appreciate your support today.
Oh.
Come on,
big
can
up
we
Dark
win a high
Sun G, legend.
QPR trying to play out from the Spurs pressure, but Dark Sun G saying, our youths are playing well against championship players.
So far, they're playing well, Dark Sun G, for sure. They have them pinned back in the QPR half. They're dominating possession, and it's a lot better than the first half. And do you know what? QPR, by the looks of it, didn't really make too many changes. Of course, it's still early days. Let's see how it goes. But, it's good to see Dark Sun G, and I think it answers questions. Are they technically good enough in that? And for sure. And I'd also argue, with the Ange Postecoglou system, because we force so many teams back, it actually gives them a more better opportunity to shine than if they were to come in under Conte or Jose, because there's so much pressure on them.
They really are taking advantage of these minutes, Dark Sun G, and I think a lot of them see it as a bit of a free hit to just impress Postecoglou. They shouldn't need to put that much pressure on themselves, really. Very windy day in QPR or in London.
Who's this Woodgate wannabe?
Jack Hendry wannabe. Ball in.
Well done, who's that counter? Well done. Takes that right off the player's head. I almost feel like I'm swearing every time I say his name.
Donovan Osterreicher saying he's speeding off to a football match now or to football practice. Good to see that, Donovision, and hopefully you can still get something from our commentary, sir. Alfie Devine, or Mikey Moore, sorry. Oh, absolutely gorgeous beautiful from Mikey.
Do you know what I like about him? It's the drop of the shoulder when he turns. It's just professional, like, ooh, Gunter,
Luka
good ball
Gunter,
into Jedi.
Love that from Luka Gunter. And Jed Spence.
Forward onto Moore.
Moore
breaking forward.
Out wide to Kulusevski. Kulusevski
well done,
cuts
Dejan.
inside.
Oh, don't go back. You've done the right thing cutting in, and you go backwards.
Divine into Spence. Divine.
Moves on to Phillips. Madison dropping deep, looking to get loose.
Good
1-2 with Abbott. That's a free kick, referee. Can we have one today, please? And Madison, don't take 10 minutes. We don't need the fuses. Get up. Well done. Thank you. It's one of my biggest bugbears. He takes so long on the ground when he gets tackled.
It's a bit too far out, though, for Spurs to try to think about a free kick. And it's not really our style either to set up for a set piece. It's more of our style just to keep the pressure on, keep the tempo. Down the line,
down the line. That referee.
Spence, surely that's a foul.
I mean, he's not going to go down there on his own, is he? Come on. Let's be brutally honest. Referee has 0 ounce of intelligence. He clipped him. I seen it. Maybe he didn't, but I feel like he did. QPR bombing it clear. It's actually a great ball out. Shit by the striker. How's he not kept that in? Well done, Jedi. Good defending. On to Emerson. Come on, Goaty. Let's go. Oh, Divine.
Sean Maddox saying, once again, the kids look so much better. I'd be concerned if I were in the first team. I think that's what you and Dark Sun G are kind of on about, Sean, is that the fact that once again, the younger players seem to understand Ange's system better. They understand the principles more, or at least they practice them better than some of the first teamers. Is a bit concerning, but I guess also shows, it's not too difficult to ask some of these guys to. Jed Spence, maybe a bit audacious there, trying to find.
He's getting carried away now. He's loving it.
Can we get a Lancashire goal, Sean Maddox?
I'd love one.
And Dark
I have to say, actually, Madison's done well today in terms of dropping deep, getting the ball and getting it playing forward and getting us moving.
Continuing some of the work that Bergvall was having. Oh, lovely
Good
ball into Jed.
Use them. Well done.
Divine, great ball. Oh, clipped out for a corner. Once again, Divine has been very positive as well, everyone. Really liked Alfie Divine in the last match against Hearts, and he's continuing some of that good work here in the second half against QPR.
You're taking more risks, and you're right. It could be the fact that it's pre-season and that, but it's good to watch.
Ooh.
It's a low ball in. It's just cleared at the near post.
11 minutes have passed. Can Spurs grab a goal before the 60th?
That'd be nice.
Emerson. Finds Ashley Phillips.
Came back to make an option there.
Solomon. There you go. Oh, just too heavy.
Just overhit.
Good idea. Too heavy,
Abbott
though.
nearly getting in behind. He's looked lively, actually, Abbott. They're playing 1-2s a lot with him and that in the midfield.
He's an intelligent player because he can play so many different positions. He plays, he's playing left back now. He's played defensive midfield. He's played center back before, I think. He's played a lot of positions before Abbott. Good touch from Ashley Phillips. Or
King
Emerson,
Huddle says neither lineup will reflect our first league lineup. No, 100% it won't. Obviously, we've got players to come back in, but it's about being able to compete with a squad. Let's not just focus on the first 11. King Huddle, this is where I maybe disagree. Is it's about a squad. In order to build that squad, we have to keep the best players around from these preseason games as possible to fill out that squad. So I'd argue that maybe there is importance on some of these games. Although it's not going to reflect the first 11 to some degree, but. Well, actually, some of it is. Son's going to be in the first 11, right? Porro's going to be in the first 11. Half the players that played in that first half are going to make the first 11 as it stands. So I think there could actually be a bit of a reflection on it. But at the end of the day, it's still good, that these kids are taking the opportunity because these could be the ones to fill out the squad and finally maybe bring a bit of competition, a bit of hunger around the place that we've been crying out for. And them little things can make a difference. So I wouldn't be so quick to just dismiss it, King Huddle.
Pressure by, looked like Divine there. He's also, what I liked about Divine is that he does work very hard defensively off of the ball. Abbott getting picked.
Guy up front looks like Conor Salmon, the guy that used to play up front for Ireland. What a tumultuous time that was for Dave. Used to have to go to therapy when he was up front.
Luca Gunter.
Football player sending me to therapy.
Luca Gunter, what I like about Gunter, too, instead of someone like White... Oh, referee doesn't blow it. That looked like a free kick, ref. Jeez, man.
I mean, they've pulled him off the fucking beach in Cannes in France, haven't they? It's a joke. How's he not given that? Jesus Christ, he may as well be sitting there with a hammock and a fucking umbrella in his martini. It's a joke. He's just completely oblivious to it.
Good block by Emerson, actually, but that looked like a foul here. Yes, it is. It definitely is.
Lyoga says, much happier to play the youth than to have a second string team that let you down. Building a squad is the right mindset. Couldn't agree more, lad. Drew Silla says, Jack, the kids have been playing this way for a few seasons. It was the Jose and Conte hires that stopped the progress. Some of the first team maybe still have some of the defensive mentality. Yeah, 100%, and there's definitely that to it. For sure, and you're right about Jose and Conte just used them as cones. On match days for their underage groups, he'd like, no, you're not going there. You're going to come up and practically be, a shadow man in 11v11 to run through tactics. It was absolutely ridiculous. But it's good to see them get their opportunity now, Drew, and they're taking it. It'd be worse if they didn't take it, right? The thing is as well, if they didn't take it, everyone would be sitting there going, Dave, that's filthy from Spence. If they didn't take it, Drew, everyone would be sitting there going, Dave, you said these guys were good. They're shite. And now that they are playing well, now everyone's going, but it doesn't reflect what we're going to do in the squad this season. It's just matter. You can't win either way. Filthy by Jed Spence, though. He's definitely taking his opportunity again. Jack loved that.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
Yeah, to send Jack for a lie down. He loved it.
That was disgusting from Jed Spence. Come on, Mikey Moore into the box. Oh, Lancashire rising. Just couldn't get enough.
What a cross.
It's hard for Lancashire, though, with that defender draped all over him. It's hard to even get that on target. He does well, though, to try to make contact with it.
What a bloody cross from Moore. More. More.
With the younger players, Drew, I definitely agree with you. In the case of Conte, I think what was more shameful about Conte was his just a moment here, though. Kulusevski, yes, into Moore. Can he score? Oh, no!
He missed.
Moore with almost a chance. He had a chance to get a second. His second goal in 2 games.
What a ball by Kulusevski, by the way.
It's a great ball, and it's a good touch from Mikey Moore. It's a good save from the QPR keeper. He reads him. He reads where he's going to go with it. Sticks a left foot out, and
Stevie Fraser says Phillips hasn't put a foot wrong yet, and 100% I agree with you. The only thing I'd maybe caveat that with quickly, Steve Fraser, is that he hasn't. I think the biggest thing for Postecoglou is how he's going to be on the ball, and of course he's looked good, but he hasn't really been under as much pressure as he's going to be in the Premier League. So it's hard to gauge has he maybe improved in that area, but physically he looks really good.
Lancashire gives it away. Good defending from Jed.
Don't. Well done, ref. Good referee.
Emerson trying to build out from the back here. Luca Gunter.
Oh, compose.
Whoa, lovely play from Spurs. It's absolute silk.
Give it in the middle, Kulu.
There you go, Kulu. Take it, man.
Come on, Kulu, take it.
You got to play him.
More.
Down the line to Kulu. Can he square it?
Bloody ball.
Oh.
It's a great return pass. Who played that
Amazing
more?
Amazing building out from the back by Emerson, by Luca Gunter, by Jed Spence. Incredible play from those 3.
What a ball by Kulusevski to Moore.
He does everything right, Moore, until the finish.
He tried to go to the near post on the keeper when he would have been better off aiming the other side. Unlucky from Moore.
I think the keeper does a good job of reading him as well. He just reads him.
He's so confident. He's so effective as well. As soon as ball's wrapped into him, gets it under control. It's beautiful.
Madison, get it into the penalty area.
Good one, do it more.
Clips
Madison.
It. Too heavy.
Oh, no one at the back post.
A little too heavy, though. Top of the area. Divine. Sprays it out wide to Emerson. Plays it down the line to Kulu. Kulu gets dispossessed.
Loses it.
Well and Emerson with a...
You tell them to get up on the run back. Referee gives it. What are you doing, ref?
Emerson with the tactical foul.
QPR player loves it.
I think Drew Zilla, just quickly to your point that you're making to me, I agree with you because with Conte, I think what was most shameful was he just didn't trust certain younger players that we know now were absolute diamonds that we could have leaned on before, like Pop Matasar. The fact that Pop Matasar played so well in the San Siro, and then he continued to persist with someone like Oliver Skip, I think was kind of pretty shameful, if you ask me. And that's a sign that certain managers we had didn't have the faith. Solomon, can he score here? Madison!
Madison!
Oh! He's probably got to bury that.
Just maybe didn't catch it the way he wanted to. I think he went for precision over power.
It was a good play by Solomon. One of them probably could have scored.
I think it was Abbott with that won the initial header to get it away. It was good. Good build. Solomon needs... I want to see him be a bit greedy, Jacko. You're right. Too. I want to see him pop one.
Because we know once he cuts inside, he has that curler.
Oh, it's so good to have Tottenham back, though, guys. I mean, my weekends, I was nearly crying on the weekend with nothing to do. It's great. Oh, life is back as I know it. It's fantastic.
Sean Maddox, I agree with Gunter. I've been trying to make that point when I get the chance as well, that what I like about Luca Gunter more than playing Alfie Whiteman, even dare I say Brandon Austin, even though he's played quite well, is that Luca Gunter is more, he's younger, he's being shaped to be more like a modern goalkeeper, and you can tell by the way he tries to play. He tries to play out from the back. He tries to take risks. He tries to keep the ball on the floor, just like... what's his face? Guglielmo Vicario, right? He's just more similar to what we would get with Vicario.
Good ball, Divine.
Madison, he's just ricocheting it off Lancashire's foot.
Great ball by Divine to thread it through there.
Based on watch-along reactions, looks like we're missing some chances, says Chunky Cheeks. In a sense, we're missing chances to put in a good ball into the box to really cause problems. Like, we're finding ourselves in good areas, just not exactly taking advantage of the the positions we're finding ourselves in, Chunky
Come
Cheeks.
on, Hall.
Something that you probably heard before from last season, actually, where, we're getting excited because the ball is being played into a dangerous area. And then all it requires is just another good ball into the box or a bit of composure from someone, and we're just not exactly getting it yet.
And Spurs have just made 2 subs as well, just quickly. Kulusevski and Will Lancashire coming off Valise and Tyrese Hall coming on. So there's 2 changes made. Be interesting. Will Lancashire maybe not as good as he was the last day out. Maybe the chances hasn't come his way that he had the last day out either. But good to see Tyrese Hall coming in there and getting a few minutes, which I'm excited about. Can't wait to see him. But do you know what? The thing is, we've actually created some okay chances. I mean, Moore's had a massive chance. Maddison had a good chance. Son had a couple of good chances in the first half as well. Werner. We just haven't been clinical in front of goals today, I would say. And as well, there are other times where we've gone forward. Sometimes, the cross has been snubbed out at the near post, or it's been overhit or underhit. But, that happens in football. You're not going to get every single one on point. But, I do think we've looked better going forward in the second half than maybe what we have in the first half, for sure. Well picked up there.
Oh, can we take advantage of this? Tyrese Hall. Well done by
Let's
Alfie
go ball over top.
Devine, or
No
Madison,
one read
sorry. Tried to clip a ball into Valise, but just not on the same page there.
No, it was a good idea. If they were on the same page, that would have been sexy.
Ribsy85 saying, what is this? Everyone gets a shitty cheap hat at QPR Day.
Yeah, it seems like it. No, I think it's probably one of them family days that some clubs run, Ribsy, where, the cheap prices and stuff like that to try and generate new fans. And, I presume they've probably done something as well to make sure they can try and fill it out with kids and stuff like that, give them a chance, which is nice. Oh, QPR at the breakaway here, though. It's a 2-on-2.
Playing in behind Emerson.
Can Emerson get there? Jed Spence gets back there.
Spence and Emerson. Good tracking back. It looks like Spence is the one who made the block,
Spence,
though.
2 players have gone over and they're all over him. They're loving the effort from Jedi.
Playing in behind Emerson. You could have been offsides there, actually. But then, excellent work from Emerson and Jed Spence, really.
If Jed didn't get the block in, Emerson would have got it. But it was great tracking back from Jedi. Jedi spectacular.
Yes, that recovery pace. Another thing to think about for why he would make sense for this Postecoglou system. He has that recovery pace.
We'll have to do a take 2 on that video, Jacko.
Hendry with the ball in. I'm just going to call him Jack Hendry.
I'm going to call him Jonathan Woodgate or Bjorn Becker.
He's like a mix of the two, really. He's like a Swedish Jack Hendry. At Jedi clears. QPR with possession and Spurs' half. Playing it down the line here, though, and Emerson does well. Can he get it out of play? And it goes out for a corner.
Him and Devine getting stuck in there. Gone out for corner to QPR. Bjorn Becker on it again.
Can Spurs try to finish the last 20 minutes here strongly? And can we grab a second? Kulusevski being taken off is also interesting, right?
He got minutes in the first half, didn't he?
He did.
He's just trying to even them out.
Yeah, but he didn't maybe see the need to keep playing him, it looks like. Gunter with a punch.
Kulu done well today, he treaded through a few balls and that for people. He done well. Still like to see him have more input, but he's done well. Here we go. We got Bjorn Becker's son coming on now. Another one with a headband. Full of them. Jeez, they must have been on a recent tour to Scandinavia, have they?
They're getting ready for her to play Rosenborg, like Man United.
Daniel Phil, good to see you, my man. Hopefully you're keeping well. He thinks Felice is going to bag one. Let's wait and see.
QPR flashing across the box. So dangerous. Spurs getting away with that one.
How is number 9 not scored there? Probably concentrates more on his hair than he does finishing in practice, it looks like.
Yeah, the guy looks like a 9 Gallon regen.
It's a good ball by Bjorn Becker. Oh.
The player sort of looks like Raja Nainggolan. Former Roma player.
Guys, just quickly while we're waiting for a few substitutions to be made, if you are enjoying the stream today and you do enjoy it, make sure you please smash that like button. If you're new, smash that subscribe button, share it out, tell people the great word of the Irish Hotspur. And if you've respected the graft, if you do enjoy the content like we speak about, why not grab yourself one of them memberships? You know, there will be members-only content this season, along with a few other things that we have coming up for you. And one of the perks is kicking off today for you members, the fan cams. Please get over to the community section after the game, all you channel members with the fan show and above. Check it out. All the instructions and details are there. And then just get them into myself and Jacko, and we'll get them uploaded. You've got 1 hour or so after the game to try and get them into us, guys, if you want to do that. But make sure you become a part of it. Grab that membership, or even help us out with some talking points. Get your super chats in, guys. Get your questions in for us. Get your talking points. Back on the way here.
Come on,
well done.
Let's finish this half strong.
Who's that? Who's that? Jesus Christ, man.
Well done.
Referee, he's absolutely up his hole there. He couldn't get any closer. Probably smelt what you had for dinner last night. It's disgusting. Blow the whistle.
Another free kick for QPR.
He blows it that way. Oh, my God. Your man's practically hugging onto him like he needs a saddle.
Shemtan saying, where's my complimentary flat cap? Fair point, Shem. At this point, you should have one for all your dedication to this channel. Dropping the ball. But QPR done well here to stay in our half. Dangerous ball in. Well done by Gunter. I really liked what I've seen from Gunter.
No nerves. Just calm it down a little. That's
Abbott. He's being tripped up. That's a yellow card, ref. There we are. Out wide to Solomon. Play Abbott. Solomon cuts inside to play it to Madison. He's got to keep his head up, Matters. He's got to get rid of it.
Yeah, Ty wants it. Let's go, Ty.
There you go, Tyrese.
He's on the overlap.
Mattis. Oh, he had a good run there. He could have played. Ashley Phillips. Good area for Abbott here. Can he find his teammate Hall? He finds Madison. Madison telling him where to stand. This is Solomon.
Hall's begging for it. No one would give it to him. He's begging. There we go.
Solomon. Back to Madison, who's dropped deep here to help him out. Madison, nice play into Jet Spence, who's come into midfield. Emerson doesn't really have too many options. He plays Mikey Moore with a lovely touch around the defender.
But he's grabbed them back.
It's good defending from the QPR team.
They're out here.
They have a good counterattack here. QPR.
Emerson holding it up.
Well done.
Can we take advantage of this?
Brilliant. Moore. Lovely feet from Moore. Lovely feet again.
He's feeling it. He's feeling it.
Oh, he plays it behind
him.
Well done by Divine, though. Can he hold on to this?
Oh, that's classy. Unlucky.
It doesn't go out of play. It would have been helpful if it did. Good feet by Mikey Moore. Just played it slightly behind Alfie Divine, so the move got...
I thought he was going to go on a sunny run there, Jack. I thought he was feeling it there for a minute. Thought we were going to witness something special.
I was thinking something similar. Yeah, it did look a little Sonny-esque. What'd you think of Sonny's performance? He didn't get too much of a mention.
Sonny.
Yeah.
Look, I don't think anyone's really concerned about Sonny. We know he's gonna turn up. You know, he does it season in, season out, turns up to a certain level. You know, I'm not even concerned about him spurning a few chances, Jack, because, you know, come the games, he's gonna take them. He's gonna be our top goal scorer come out at the end of the season. So I'm not really too concerned to a large degree about that. I would just prefer to get him back out on the left where he feels more comfortable and he looks more comfortable. But look, I'm really not too concerned about him because he's one guy that I know is going to hit the top level throughout the campaign. It's guaranteed.
When I think about it, too, I can't even name too many games where... excellent. Alejo. Alejo. Still Alejo. It just looked a little clunky there. He got a little excited there, Alejo, and then he started to look a little unsure of himself. Emerson, good tracking back, and a good pass out as well. Alfie Divine, lovely feet. Or should I say Madison down the line to Mikey Moore. Can he whip it in? It's too heavy. That's been the theme of the day today. Theme of the day has just been when we find ourselves in these...
Overhit.
And it's mostly been on the right side, sadly. On the right side, we've just overhit these crosses. Not sure if maybe we've been training with weights or something. we hit the weight room before the game. I'm not really sure. These lads are hitting it way too hard. And they need to keep it on the floor. Well done by Abbott. Great job by Abbott. Tyrese Hall. Lovely feet from Hall. Into Alejo. Mikey Moore couldn't get it out of his feet. Good feet from the QPR player here. Plays it out wide down our right side. One-on-one with Jet Spence, the QPR player. Cuts inside, goes out for another corner kick. QPR, I will say, they look capable of scoring. Spurs do as well, but Spurs have just been, again, tad wasteful with some of the openings that they've had. But QPR have threatened in the second half. It's been pretty even in the second half.
Yeah, they've had the second half's worn on. QPR have got into it a little.
You could say probably the QPR fans are more proud of this performance than maybe the Hearts fans were.
Yeah.
On Sonny, though, Dave, I was going to say, is that I can't actually remember too many games where Sonny even scored in preseasons or anything. So I've never really thought about Sonny much in preseason games.
He never really lights up preseason, but like you just know he's going to turn up for the season. He's a professional. You know he's going to be ready, right? You know, so it's just one of them. I don't need to read into it, or I feel like I don't need to.
Training with a ball from 1882, says Nick Carey. Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Oh, no. Don't let him shoot that, Dawn.
Good block from Matters. Sir!
That's dogged play. Well done. QPR nearly scoring there, though.
Took a nasty deflection off of Jed Spence's foot and nearly tucked itself into the left corner. But Gunter looked like he had his lines covered there.
On to Emerson. Good ball into Jed Spence. What can he do?
Mo.
Back to Emerson. Can Tottenham still play out here? Emerson's under pressure. Referee. Jesus Christ.
No way referee hasn't given a free kick there. This referee, he's trying to get home early.
He is. He is biased. Do you know what? It's probably not even a fully proper referee. He's probably the kit man for QPR, Jack.
I don't know. I mean, it's the summer, Dave. You know, we have plans often, you know, in the evening. Maybe the referee, he's got like a drink date or something like that. A barbecue. Yeah, he's got a barbecue. He's got to meet up for beers with the boys later, and he's realizing he could be running a bit late. Also, right, QPR, isn't that kind of northwest London? You know, it can be hard to probably get out of there. Maybe he's got like a hipster sort of date over in South London that he needs to get to. So he's just realizing, you know, the timing and everything is going to be a bit awkward for him.
It's probably a shisha shop he wants to get to, the referee. You know, forget about it. So, honestly, it's ridiculous, this ref. He's a joke. He's so biased, it's unbelievable.
Ref looks hungover, says Ripsy 85. He's had a little Friday night bender.
He looks extremely hungover.
I mean,
Leslie Crawford said,
I'm not sure if I've ever seen more of a foul in my life. He practically trampled on Emerson. He stabbed his left leg afterwards as well. I mean, how is that not a foul?
Even Andrew's asking the fourth official. Come on, like, someone wake him up, give him some water. How's that not a free kick? It's a joke.
I mean, I actually don't blame Emerson for taking his time here. He also got stepped on afterwards. Like, it's just...
Tony Austin, Black Wolf 1967, big up, my man, really appreciate it. He's got one of them badges beside his name, sexy badges. Ideally, we want all of you to have one. And he says, Spence playing a full 90. No, my man, he only came on at half-time, but he's done well again today, actually. You know, he's done well defensively and he's done very well going forward. So, fair play to him. And then also, we've got this from Tony Austin, Jack. He's just in. He wants to know, how do you think we're getting on?
It's not as convincing as the game against Hearts was. I'd say you can, again, take a lot of positives from some of the younger players. Tony Austin, once again, they've shown that they have that bravery on the ball. They're actually trying to implement what Postecoglou wants. And the sad kind of maybe negative or something that you would say in this game has been, you know, a bit of that trend of being a bit wasteful in the final third, where overhit crosses, good areas that some of the players are finding themselves in, but then not really making much of it at the end of the day. And that's something that we complained about last year. Obviously, it's only preseason. You don't want to be too, you know, harsh on them about it. That's the only thing I can say, though, is younger players, once again, really shining, really looking good, confident, playing the way that we want them to. And also, I think really giving Ange Postecoglou something to think about. And then maybe the slight negative would be when Spurs have created good openings, when they have created chances, it's not really been finished off very well by not really the forwards. It's more not been finished off by whoever is going to play that cross. Yeah, like when we are in the right area, it's not really met with a good final ball or a good final pass, or it's just not really being synced up at the end really in the way that it should be.
I also must stress it is a step up from playing Hearts, though. QPR are a championship team, but again, if we would have took our chances there, we could have came away with another 4 or 5-0 here. We just didn't take them. I think Werner spurned a massive one towards the end of the half. Son missed two big chances. I think Johnson had one. Mikey Moore had one. There's been a few chances. Madison that we spurned. Tony, take on another day. Probably be a different atmosphere around this game. Maybe it's going to be hilarious on socials after, because everyone who said last week not to get carried away with the win are going to use this then and go, look how crap we are and everything else. It's madness. Get carried away the opposite end with it today.
Jet Spence has been another positive, I'd say, to Tony Austin. He's not played as well as he did maybe against Hearts. Not saying he plays poorly so far, but maybe that's another positive, is Jet Spence is looking like he's trying to prove something. Looks like he's hungry. What's the story saying? Hello, David and Jack. Watching you in front of a turf fire with a creamy pint of Guinness. Absolute heaven. Come on, you Spurs.
Yeah, the old lad's on another holiday. The old lad's on another holiday. He's down in Donegal with me sister and my mother, Jack, enjoying himself. So, look, enjoy a pint of Guinness, enjoy the turf fire, and hopefully... Oh, no. Just gone wild. Hopefully you, my mum, and Sinead, you all enjoy yourselves down there, let loose. Don't do anything I wouldn't do for a week is basically it. So hopefully you enjoy yourselves. Hopefully you're enjoying the game as well. Get a nice chipper tonight. I feel like you deserve it.
That'd be my version of heaven. What's the story?
all they need is a thatch roof on it, and Jack will probably join you for the week.
Lovely.
Sharp feet, Mikey.
He's got that glued touch.
Yeah. It's a great ball over the top.
Jet Spence, can he find Mikey? Oh, he's got to see that run. He's got to see that run. He had Mikey Moore behind. It's a dangerous ball in from the QPR team, and it's a deflected header that just goes wide.
Scale of 1 to 10, guys.
Oh, say that again, Dave. I think you lagged out for a bit.
I was saying on a scale of 1 to 10, let me know in the chat how jealous you think my father is to my new top. QPR on the attack here. Emmerich, great challenge. Stick with him.
Ashley Phillips cleared away by Emerson. Again, QPR, though, they've done much better job in the second half of actually causing us problems.
Don't let him shoot. Oh, no.
Another block from Emerson. Emerson has been very busy. Emerson has been very busy defensively.
He's walking wounded right now.
Yeah,
the Spurs fan asking about Bergvall. Just quickly, lad. To be honest with you, we actually don't know what happened, because Spurs play had technical issues for about 20 minutes in the first half. And when they got back to it, all we've seen is Bergvall walking off with the physio. But it did look like maybe a bit of a hamstring injury. We're not sure, to the severity of it. He did walk off the pitch, but, so maybe it won't be as serious as what Van der Ven done last season when he maybe had to be carried off the pitch. So let's wait and see. Tottenham don't seem to be in any rush to take this throw in here.
Dane Scarlett is on. Ashley Phillips. Into Madison.
Come on. I'd like to see a goal. Gunter.
Given away by Gunter. Maybe his first mistake of the game here. Jet Spence, one-on-one out wide with the QPR player. Back post. It's dangerous.
Oh, great defending. Who's that at the back post? Young Abbott.
Yeah.
Brilliant play by Abbott. Brilliant.
Sadly, in the second half here, everyone, it's been more good defending from Spurs to hold on. Last-minute defending, really. Emerson has been very busy.
Last 15, 20 minutes, it's tailed off, hasn't it?
George Abbott's made a great block there. Luka Gunter, I'll be honest, has looked good. He's claimed a lot of crosses. He's done good he's done well trying to play out from the back. Despite being under all this pressure, Luka Gunter, he's kept his nerve, or he's held his nerve. He's done well. It's just that, Spurs, unfortunately, I'd say they're starting to be pinned back a bit by QPR.
Yeah, it's changed. The course of the game has changed.
Oh, it's another save from Gunter. He's done
what
well.
A save. Gunter at full stretch, and he picks that one up.
Another save. Keep it up, Gunter. I mean, this kid.
And he's gone quick again.
It's
another great ball out.
Full of confidence. Gunty. Oh, what a touch from Mikey.
Super.
Great job from Mikey Moore, actually.
Madison, please don't slow it down. There we go. Sully. Come on, Solomon.
Madison. Someone's got to come short. There you are.
Oh, good ball.
Lovely from Solomon. It's absolutely gorgeous. Mikey Moore!
Yes!
2-0 from Dane.
Come on, Dane. He's finally got it.
Get in there, Dano. Come on.
Let's go, Dane Mbappe. In at the back post. The fox in the box. He's sharper. He's the sharpest tool in the box. Absolutely love it. Great finish from Dane Scarlett. Great cross, by the way. Great build-up play. That back flick was sexy.
This is gorgeous from Solomon.
Speaking my love language now, it's beautiful.
And it's Mikey Moore with an outside
straight into the corridor of uncertainty that we talk about between the goalkeeper and the back line. And number 44, Dane Mbappe, in at the back post. Bosh. Eat that one, QPR. That's a London Derby victory in pre-season. We'll take that.
That first London Derby win of the season.
It is, lad. QPR's London team. It's a London Derby, lad.
Yes, get in. 2-0 to the good.
Come on.
A bit against the run of play if you were to look at the last 15 minutes. But Spurs, they grabbed the second. They held their nerve. I would say in the last 15 minutes, credit to the defenders for holding on. Ashley Phillips, Abbott, Emerson, Gunter. I'd say they were all the players of the second half, really, because they were under a lot of pressure, and they were playing out from the back. They weren't getting it launched or anything like that. They weren't losing their heads. They did pretty well. And look at Gunter. What a save, man. Full stretch. Full stretch. Full stretch.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, this kid is good.
The last person I see make a save like that was Shea Given. Beautiful.
Usually, I'm making only full stretch if I'm going for the last beer there.
People saying, what a cross by Mikey Moore. That it was absolutely sensational.
Usually, that's Dave and I reaching for the last chip in the cabinet, having to go full stretch.
That's me when someone goes to throw away my bag of chips and tell me I need a diet. That's
Dave
me
goes
just jumping
right as they throw it into the dumpster. Dave goes full stretch.
Yeah, before it goes into the back of the dump truck.
Flying eagle across the pitch. Oh,
for sure.
Can we hold the clean sheet? Well done by Gunter, man. Well done.
Strong again.
A surprise, I dare say, man of the match, really, in the second half, Luka Gunter.
Which is not a great endorsement for White, man. I wonder, is he gone to play with the Saracens rugby team?
Looks like Alfie Whiteman's DJ career has a better chance than his goalkeeping career at the moment. But Dane Mbappe as well. Good for him grabbing the goal. Well done for Solomon as well with that beautiful bit of play to let it run through his legs on the dummy. Abbott, well done.
Oh, well done. People saying more.
Divine.
Oh, well done, Divine.
Emerson, get it out wide, man.
Good play.
Mikey Moore down the line too.
Good ball by Moore.
Divine.
He's been sensational this second half. He is a class player. Divine again, balling out.
Oh, lovely
Spence.
Oh, you got to
square it.
Oh, pull it back. He had Abbott right in the middle.
Mbappe is there.
He had him right in the middle.
It's unbelievable play by Moore, Spence, and Divine down that right-hand side. Very intricate, carved their way through the QPR back line. He falls back to Divine. All he's got to do is pull it back to the back, towards the penalty spot. He puts it across the box. It's the wrong decision, but it's great play. And that's maybe indicative of what Jack's been talking about today, where there's been some great play and the final ball has maybe been lacking.
Because he had 2 or 3 players wide open in the penalty area, and he just didn't see them, it looked like, Alfie Divine, or he had a different picture in his head.
Referee looks like he needs a hair of the dog. He needs another drink. He's so hanging from last night, you can tell.
He's looking a little leggy, the ref. And now he's blowing it up for full time here. There you are, everybody. 2-0 to the good. The kids are still cooking, says King Hoddle. Indeed they are. That's the right way to put it. And I'd say the back line did very well in that second half, everyone. George Abbott with some pretty decent moments defensively. He was good in possession. Luca Gunter claiming every cross as if he was Fraser Forster. You know, he was a big menace in goal, like just claiming everything. Was very impressed by him. And also the way he was playing out from the back despite all the pressure they were being under. Because QPR, they were pinning us back in our half, and credit to those defenders for still trying to play the way that Ange Postecoglou wants, you know, trying to keep the ball on the floor, trying to play through that pressure. They did very well. And then eventually they got the reward for it. They got a second goal, like I said, maybe slightly against the run of play, but it's also because we were trying to play our game. We were trying to play the way that Ange wants us to, and in a sense, we got the rewards for it. A little bit wasteful, you could say, in the final third from the team. I don't think there are really too many negatives to take from this performance, though. It was a weird game. You know, we had the Spurs technical difficulties. We had our own technical difficulties. Bergvall, we sadly couldn't see the most of. And there were a lot of substitutions. I think more kind of weird substitutions at different times. So it was always difficult to get a glimpse of who the team really was, you know, every player on the pitch. But for the most part, I'd say there were some positive performances from a lot of guys. And I thought actually the defense maybe today did quite well, considering all the pressure they were put under in that second half.
No, they done well. They held up. Maybe it's a bit concerning that they were put under that pressure by QPR. You know, probably a better team would have took their opportunities, but they done well. Luke Gunter was sensational in that second half. You know, not only in terms of some of the saves, he was sturdy with balls and coming and claiming them in the air, and also quick throw-ins to get us out and playing again. Love that. Just before we get into it a bit more, though, guys, fan show members and above, elite members, guys, make sure you check out the community section. Get your fan cams in. You've got an hour to get them into us. You know, all the stuff is up in the community section for you guys to have a look at in terms of where you send it. You know, I'll put some questions up maybe if you want help guiding through it there for you in a couple of minutes. So you got about just over an hour to get them in, guys. So make sure you get onto that. But back to Luca Gunter. I thought he was absolutely brilliant today. He done himself the world of good. He was sensational for the under-21s last year when he stepped in for Josh Keeley, actually. Josh Keeley was a huge part for them in goals, and he stepped in, replaced him in terms of on the ball and great saves, especially on the run-in. I don't think he got enough credit for actually some of the saves he made at times to keep Tottenham in the game, which was absolutely sensational. I'm delighted for him today. He really took his opportunity, and he's basically just said, White who? You know, he's absolutely gone. Instead of White man, he's going to be Road man next week because he's absolutely displaced them. Backline, you know, done all right first and second half. Phillips didn't really put a foot wrong, which is something I was looking at maybe in terms of Ashley Phillips. I still have question marks about him on the ball. Don't get me wrong, you know, he done well handling the ball today, but he's not under pressure. It's a different story against better opposition, so I'm still waiting to see that, but it'll be interesting to see if he's done enough to earn himself a seat on the plane. Jedi Spectacular again with another really good impact today, and we got to see more of him being tested defensively, which is one of the questions maybe I had in that show that we put out this morning, Jack, that chat about Jed Spence, and I think he stood up for that for sure. He was absolutely brilliant. Jedi Spectacular. Another good cameo from him. It'd be interesting to see Postecoglou's quotes on him after today, because last week he was asked about and maybe alluded to that, look, he's going to be here. You know, it was a really weird quote. He didn't exactly say this word for word, but it was in a roundabout way that he's here at the moment. He could be gone next week. So let's see if he, you know, can get himself a seat on the plane. That would be ideal. Mikey Moore, though, guys, we have to have a serious conversation about this guy. He's absolutely insanely talented.
Yeah.
Absolutely unbelievable. The ball just it's like glued to his feet, you know. Yeah. He looks like a young Messi out there. I'm not going to say he's going to reach that heights and stuff, but we have one hell of a player on our hands, and he does exactly what I want my winger to do. Get on the ball, be direct, take players on, and be able to link up with others and with a bit of end product. For me, he's absolutely sensational, and this is one guy that will be kept around for sure. He's too good not to. And I think we're just waiting for him to turn 17 to sign his professional contract. But my God, is he sensational, Jack?
Yeah, there were a lot of players that have once again shown to be pretty damn close to first-team quality, despite how young they are and how inexperienced they are. Mikey Moore, once again, like, yes, he's so young, but when you watch him play, he looks comfortable at this sort of speed. He looks comfortable playing with these top quality players around him. And I think that's something that Dave and I had mentioned maybe towards the tail end of last season, is that when you have these younger talented players, you can't just let them only play with under 21 talent. You have to intermix them with the better players in the first team, because since they already are so talented for their age, they need to be inspired by playing with other really good players, other good talented guys in the squad, because it helps them learn. It also helps them play with even better opponents, even better quality around them, which should bring out even more out of them. And I think we're seeing that with guys like Mikey Moore. He looks so comfortable playing at this level. And Bergvall the same. Bergvall looks quality. I know we only got to see so much of him, but he looks like he's ready for the first team. He looks like he's ready for the top level. Archie Gray, I'd say the same as well. Another player that, once again, this is more of a surprise, something I really did not anticipate saying at all this preseason. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Alfie Devine. Alfie Devine has actually been positive, I think, in possession. He's playing passes forward. He's making unselfish runs. He works hard defensively as well in the press. I like a lot from Alfie Devine. I'm not so sure where his future lies with Ange Postecoglou and with this team, but he's doing a bit of what Jed Spence is doing, where he's forcing us to recognize him, he's forcing us to talk about him, and he's probably forcing Ange Postecoglou to think about him and think differently about maybe where his future might lie under his plans and with this football club. Let's quickly also go to another player that I think really shined today, and we'll use Dark Sun G's generous super chat as an opportunity to do it. He's talking about the goalkeepers. He's saying Vicario, Gunter, Austin, Forster, our goalkeepers are looking stacked. Dark Sun G, I know Brandon Austin has looked pretty good with some of the reflex saves and whatnot that he's made so far. I think Luka Gunter has made a case for himself even being, dare I say, one of the backup goalkeepers, maybe third choice. He could go as far as second choice, just because he has more of that modern goalkeeper type mold where he is trying to play out from the back. Some of the throws that he was making to try to get counterattack started, and how strong he was from the corners. I think it was Paul Connor who said that we still look a bit sketchy from defending corners, but Luka Gunter did a very good job in claiming them and making it easier on us. I think he had a really, really good performance, and he actually was doing things that I don't really think Forster, Austin, or Whiteman would be able to do, which was, that knack of playing out from the back, not getting phased by, sketchy back passes like even Emerson is playing here and whatnot. I thought there was some really good play from Luka Gunter. And so I'd say there's a lot of positives to take from his performance. And he was also someone that maybe isn't exactly ready right now for a lot of first team minutes, but he didn't exactly stand out in a bad way. He actually looked good with the opportunity he was given today. So I'd like to see more of Luka Gunter, Dark Sun G. When it comes to Forster, I'm a little perplexed. I'm a little confused. Is he going to be kept around as a backup third choice keeper? Is he going to be kept around as the main second choice keeper? Because he hasn't been used again. I understand he's recovering from an injury. It's just I'm a little surprised that he hasn't been used at all, Dark Sun G. So that second backup choice keeper, to a degree, could be up for grabs. And Luka Gunter or Brandon Austin, maybe they'll make a case for it. Maybe they'll push for that. But I'm very happy with the goalkeeper performances of Austin and as well as Luka Gunter. Definitely some positives from there. And I would say, Dave, the big theme for this preseason so far is that certain youngsters, certain younger players, they're not sticking out in a bad way playing with these first team guys. In fact, they're actually kind of showing up some of the first team players in the way that they're performing, which is big positives to take. And also you yourself, being the youth academy expert, being the youth academy passionate man yourself, you must be very happy for them, seeing that they are once again, holding their own, making Ange Postecoglou think about them. This has been the big positive. If people want to take negatives, they can, but I think the big positive that we have to continue to take is these younger kids, they are showing that they are good enough and potentially quality enough to really challenge for the first team this upcoming season.
And look, Jack, when you give these guys the opportunity, that's all you can ask for them, is to give their best. And once they've done that, then it's over to the management team. Do they want these guys to be able to fill out the squad? Does Ange Postecoglou want to rely on players that, when he had to turn to one way or another last season, let him down? It derailed the season. Does he want to make the same mistake? Or do you want maybe something fresh? Someone young, someone hungry that's going to maybe create a competitive environment? I know what route I would go down personally. Look, We're not sitting here naive. Of course, we need more signings to be able to help improve the first 11 and the squad in general, right? We know that, but there's no harm in having a couple of these guys on the periphery. And I've sat here, I've spoke about how much talent they've had. I tried to make people aware, but at the end of the day, it's only until you see them and until they're given their opportunity, that people can really make up their own mind. And I think most of them, majority of them, have took it. Alfie Devine, I think, has come back and surprised me the most, actually, Jack. I'd done the interview with the Plymouth fan at the end of the season, and he was saying, look, he's a good player, but he needs a low move. But Alfie Devine has been absolutely brilliant with his two opportunities. He's done both sides of the game. He's got stuck in, but also, he's good on the ball technically. And that Mikey Morris took his opportunity. Therese Hall maybe a little bit quiet today. Phillips, I'd argue, has taken his opportunity to the degree. Gunter has put himself ahead in the pecking order for sure. Lancashire maybe let himself down a little today. Valise maybe let himself down a little. Bergvall was bright. It looks like that was only precautionary taking him off. So maybe a lot of our fears can be alleviated. Ange Postecoglou was seen, playfully slapping him on the face after the game, which hopefully means there's no severity around the injury and it was just precaution. And Archie Gray was another standout today. And at the end of the day, the way I see it, Jack, and some people say you only say this when it comes to dating and that, right? But age is only a number at the end of the day. If you're good enough, you're old enough, and we've got some supreme talent there, like, say, Mikey Moore. There's no need to loan him out. He's ready to come off the bench and try and affect the game in the Premier League. He's not too, like you said, they're not too far off some of the players that they're hunting down their spots for within the squad and stuff like that. So for me, I think it'd be good to keep them around and keep that maybe competitive environment, because these guys will not stop until they get their opportunity. And fair play to them. They've been the bright spark over these two games. But I did expect them to be, Jack, because for me it was always going to be about what kids take their opportunity to get that seat on the plane, to get that seat on the tour. And I think a few of them have, and I'm delighted for them, and it's probably cleared up for people in and around the club which ones need to go out on loan and which ones are staying. So let's wait and see. I think the squad will probably be out for the tour in a couple of days. Let's see if any's left at home.
Dark Sun G with a super chat saying, these are the chances I wanted to see Harvey White as well as Dennis Sirkin to have during preseason games. And it's probably a fault of the club. It's a fault of the previous managers that we had, Dark Sun G. There wasn't that pathway for them, and it wasn't really made by the club. It wasn't really made by the managers, and they were just sort of left to rot, really, I guess, and left to just sort of, I guess, sit in isolation, and they weren't really able to develop and being given these chances. And what I like about these younger players, Dark Sun G, is that they're looking at it as a bit of a free hit. I can tell, like, they're just playing the best they can. They don't seem to play with that much burden or that much pressure on their shoulders, or at least they're not showing it by the looks of things. And I'm very proud of them for playing that sort of way. It can be very daunting. It can be very intimidating to be playing with guys like Madison, guys like Sonny, these big, top names, big players, big personalities. And yet some of these guys are actually showing up, the Madisons and whatnot of this team. It's been very, very impressive to see. And I wish that, like you say, that maybe previous players were given those opportunities in the past. We know with Harvey White, he could have maybe played instead of a Harry Winks or maybe other midfielders in the team. We know with Dennis Sirkin, he could have been given opportunities ahead of someone like a Ben Davies in the past, right? And sadly, they just weren't given those chances. And now their careers are someplace else. But we can now try to make up for it, and we could try to start over and try to do it better this time around with some of the brilliant academy players. And so many of them, I mean, the big names like Devine, Moore, and others, played really well. But George Abbott, like I said, also impressed by him playing in a left-back role, good defensively, understood the role well, came into midfield, didn't seem too intimidated, didn't seem too out of place playing in that role. I also liked, again, I'll continue to say it, Luca Gunter impressed me because he was more similar to a Vicario than maybe some of the other goalkeepers that we have in our team, and the way that he was playing. I'm just impressed by these youngsters and their bravery, their confidence, and their willingness to play the way that Ange wants, right? They're not trying to play safe. They're not going for stat padding either, Dave, right? Some of these younger guys, like they're not looking when they see the pass that's forward, or when they see maybe a little sliver of a chance to play it, in between the lines, they do play it. They're not looking to give it off to someone else to play it. I like the confidence of some of these younger guys, and that's something that we've actually criticized maybe more regular first teamers with, that they actually often will maybe take the safer option, take the more safer approach so that they don't have to make a mistake or that someone else can make the mistake instead of them. I'm not seeing that with these younger players. These guys are willing to make something happen, and they're willing to take the onus on themselves, on their shoulders to create chances and to play the way that Ange wants. And you can only show that. You can only show them praise for it, and that's the big positive that I would continue to take from these past 2 games.
I think you've hit the nail on the head. Is that, you know, they're confident taking this opportunity. You know, in years gone by, I've seen on tour where players have been given the opportunity and maybe they've been hesitant, reluctant, played it very safe. And that's one thing that really irks me as a youngster, because you have to come in and have something that's going to be a point of difference to the counterparts that you're trying to, you know, to the guys that are in the first 11. And even then, that point of difference is only good enough to put you on the periphery of the squad. You know what I mean? You have to show that point of difference. And I think there's certainly some players that have, the likes of Mikey Moore. I'd go as far as say I want to see Donnelly on tour when we get the likes of Adoji in that back further up the field. I think personally, because he's fielding very well for Tottenham there, he deserves that opportunity to show what he can do in a forward area in a game and stuff like that. But you know, they've took the opportunity to come out here. They've been brave. They've been confident. They took the game to the opposition. They've wanted to make things happen. They've wanted to stand out. They want to get into this first team. And I think that's what makes this more exciting than maybe in years gone by when we've seen some youngsters on the periphery where they've played it safe. These guys haven't. And you know what? They're probably going to get the reward. And hopefully it sets a good standard for every other youngster that's coming through after them. Because, by the way, I forgot to warn you, there's more. There's the likes of Olasesi, Oli Iro, people like that. Let's not forget about them, who are probably going to come to the fore this season. So get excited.
Even in Alfie Devine's case, Clement is asking me, Jack, what do you think of Devine's performance today? He's someone that I've just been forced to think about. I never thought much about, actually, Alfie Devine before this preseason, and he's really caused me, you know, he's really given me good thoughts. You know, he's given me good things to think about for, you know, whether he really should be put out on loan. This is something I've held back a bit. Might as well play it now or say it now when I'm feeling a bit, you know, more confident.
Bit loose.
I think he's played better than Madison has. Alfie Devine, when he's been on the pitch. I don't think Madison's played too poor. I don't think Madison's played terribly. But if I were to compare him, I think Devine's worked harder out of possession. I think he's actually made more unselfish runs to try to link up play and be there for teammates who need a pass or need someone to play it to. And then also, I think he has just a bit more of that quality in the final third than what Madison has had. He's playing good crosses. He's finding good runs. I've really liked Alfie Devine so far, and people are talking about this golden generation that Spurs seem to have. It really shows that we have a golden generation, that the fact that we've even forgotten, at least I've forgotten about Alfie Devine, really, because we have so many brilliant academy kids coming through, Tyrese Hall to Donnelly to Moore, you know, the list just goes on and on and on and on, that Alfie Devine, who we bought so many years ago, is still such a young player, and me personally, I forgot about him at one point or another. That just really shows how golden this generation of Spurs players are, and I really hope that he just continues to play this way, because he's really standing out to me. Dark Sun G saying, if Liverpool use Connor Bradley as a backup, then we can use George Abbott as one. He played it slightly out of position, Dark Sun G, as a left back. He didn't stand out, though, in a bad way, though. He looked comfortable. He seemed to understand the instructions of the role, you know, coming to midfield to help out the midfielders. He was trying to link up play. He did really well defensively, Dark Sun G, in a couple of moments, too. I mean, Dave, George Abbott, another example of a talented player that maybe doesn't always get mentioned in the golden generation that we have here, but he did pretty well. He showed that he has something about him.
Well, he was one of the ones that got his first. He was the first one to get his debut. Remember, I think Ryan Mason gave it to him towards the back end of the season. You know, and he's only recently signed a new contract as well. And look, Abbott's a good player. He's your typical DM. He was used in more of a defensive central midfield role last season, and Tyrese Hall was the one that was allowed to, you know, had to do the defensive work, but allowed to venture forward and get involved with the play. So Abbott is an out-and-out true sort of CDM to that regard, and he done well today. But Dark Sung G, like, the thing is, there's this sort of narrative around Tottenham Hotspur that you can't play youngsters because they're going to cost you. And I think that stemmed from maybe fear of what we've seen before from big international players who have cost us, and people feel like, well, if you're going to go with youngsters, it's going to be even worse. Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes there's players at a club that know they're never going to get into the first team. They're on big wages and they're just comfortable to be rolled out whenever they're asked. And, if a result happens, it happens. They probably don't lose any sleep at night. Once that starts to happen, you've lost all competitive edge in your squad. And that's warning signs. You need to rotate that, and bringing in some youngsters will help that, and this is where I think managers at Tottenham, okay, I do give them a pass sometimes in the transfer window, because we know at Tottenham the managers don't get everything they ask for, which would be a massive help if we could give them 90% of what they ask for, but they tend to not to. But then I feel like once the window's closed, instead of moping and sulking about it, I feel like they've accepted it. They're still here. They need to start looking at other avenues. And I think now there's no time or no excuse for a manager not to turn to that academy to try and solve some of the issues, to plug these guys in there and give them opportunities. Obviously, it's not ideal. And I'm not campaigning for 10, 11 of them to get in. It's never going to happen. That's not realistic. You're talking about 1% of the people in the world get to be a footballer. It's a minute amount of people. But the fact that we've got 10 or 12 hunting for spots, it's good omens that at least 3 of them should make it through, which can only be good for Tottenham Hotspur. And a lot of these guys are actually Spurs fans. Mikey Moore, out and out Spurs fan. Donnelly, Spurs till I die, that guy. There's so many of them that are Spurs fans, and it's great to see. So, look, hopefully at the end result we can maybe get 3, if more, brilliant, true, and that would be nice. And we're the only club across Europe that doesn't do it. Liverpool do it, Man United have done it, Arsenal have done it, City have done it, many teams in the Premier League have done it, many teams across Europe have done it. We're the only ones that don't, and I think it comes from fear of what's happened before when we've relied on what are supposedly senior players. So hopefully we can alleviate that fear and realise that, hang on, it's not, we shouldn't be afraid to play youngsters. If them guys on big page packets don't want to do the job, no problem. You don't want to be competitive, grand, no problem. Go and do some charity work. We'll bring the kids in. That's what should happen.
Quickly, too, on Dark Sun G's point about Connor Bradley, right, being given that chance for Liverpool. I think that's what Spurs fans like Dave and I have been kind of jealous of about Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool, is that some of the chances they even give to their younger players, they're not even the best talents, really, some of these Liverpool kids, but they're given the chances because Klopp believes that sometimes those youngsters, right, they don't play with that sort of arrogance or that sort of ignorance that maybe a more experienced, talented, big name player might, right? They'll follow the instructions of the manager to the hilt. They will do everything they can to try to impress the manager, but also just to basically put everything out there for the badge and for themselves, right? To progress their own career. And it's a breath of fresh air, actually, to sometimes see, a young player just playing with that freedom, playing with that sort of, that lack of pressure on their shoulders. They're just playing with like it's a free hit. They're playing like it's just a good chance to raise some eyebrows. And almost every single young player for our academy so far in these preseason games has done that. And you just hope that Ange Postecoglou can see that, and he looks at maybe managers of the past like Jurgen Klopp for these upcoming Europa League games, maybe domestic cup games, that he looks at some of these guys who've played really well in these preseason games, and he gives them those opportunities and sees what they're made of in maybe higher stakes games, because they've done everything they can, I think, to give Ange Postecoglou something to think about. Yeah. And I hope that he follows in the steps of, like I say, Dave, someone like a Jurgen Klopp, who gave lots of chances to players that, like, what is it, Jacob Kwanzaa or whatever his name is, and, other guys like Joe Gomez he's brought through, Curtis Jones, and Connor Bradley recently, and Harvey Elliott, so many players that, yes, some of them are really, really talented, but then others, I'd say, aren't more talented or any less talented than some of the guys that we have, in our academy. It's just that Jurgen Klopp, he believed in those kids, and he believed in that kind of mixing of the experience as well as kind of the younger players. And I just hope that that's something we get to see this upcoming season, because they really have given me a lot to think about.
And lastly, no, 100%, Jack. I think they've given everybody a lot to think about, and it's good. There's been a lot of noise made about them, but now everyone's seen them. I think that's only good going forward. And last thing I would say, I'm going to take the opportunity, there's over 300 in-house. Guys, I have been the home of the academy the last few years here on YouTube, doing academy updates and stuff like that. So if you want to keep on top of it, I will be doing them over the course of this season. So make sure you stay subscribed.
Well done, Dave. And Steve T, really appreciate your appreciation of us. I mean, I think we are especially myself, I can be a bit delusional and a bit happy clapping, but he's saying, have really enjoyed the positivity of these panelists, enjoyed the show. The positivity has been great. Steve, listen, I mean, when we're watching the game, Dave and I will point out like little sloppy moments from, Timo Weenie, Brennan Johnson, guys like that, where we'll show our frustration. But I think when the 90 minutes usually concludes, we do try to take a bigger picture. And when I've looked at the bigger picture after this game, I can say there's definitely far, far more positives to take from these last two games than there really are negatives. And a lot of it just has to do with these younger players who are just playing so well with the minutes that they've been given. And they're instilling what Ange Postecoglou wants. They're playing the way that he would like. And they're, in fact, sometimes showing up some of these first-team players, some of these first-team regulars in the way that they've been performing. So I've been really happy with them. And another win. I mean, the wins aren't really the biggest, factor, but
no, it's a London derby.
Dave's checking off another London derby win, Steve. But it's been enjoyable. And compared to other preseason games of the past, Dark Sun G mentioned this, Steve, when we had to watch, I don't know, Dyer, Davies, Winks, players like this, playing against the QPRs or Cambridges or whatnot of the world. It's not really been that fun, actually, some of these preseason games. Whereas this year, it's been really fun to watch these young players being given the chance. And they've played so exceptionally well that they're causing, I think, a lot of Spurs fans some difficult debates and some difficult questions about, are they really actually good enough to displace or really challenge some of these first-team players? And I think they are. I think they have shown, at least a few of them have. And I'm really looking forward to this bright young future of Spurs talent. And thank you for the support, Steve T. I really appreciate the kind words.
I'm going to be brutally honest with you here, Steve T. I have my days where things are great, we're winning, positive. But I am a realist at times as well, Steve D. I'm just going to be brutally honest so we can be on the same page going forward. I don't want to sell you any dreams and lies, Yeah, I can criticise players and I will criticise players. And some say I maybe go harder than others when I do get to that point. So I must stress it does depend on how we do. I am one of them fans. So I'm just going to be brutally honest with you going forward. Look, like Jack, I think there is, a lot of positives in terms of, for me, what I was looking for in these two games. Was to see the youngsters and see if they could shine, but also see if there's a few players that maybe want to come out and prove a point that maybe I'm still waiting to see. And I still do think, there's more positives to take away from this, but we can't forget we do still need to make some signings. We still don't have our full squad. So hopefully, Steve, maybe to end on a positive, it's going to get better, my man. Come on, you Spurs. London derby victory today. I won't have anything else said about it. It's a London team. It's a derby. Another one in the bag. We move.
Dave says we move. Well, everyone, really do appreciate all the support that we've received today through the watch along. Again, apologies about the technical difficulties that happened at one point. We got it back up on stream as quickly as we could, and I think we made the most of it. And it's been a fun watch along, and it's been my first of the season. Looking forward to many more with you guys. We'll see you for Japan and Korea. So everyone get ready for that this next weekend. Yeah. I think that should be next Saturday. We'll be joining you guys, and hopefully you join Dave as well for the pre-match build-ups. You can always get good previews ahead of every game as well, so feel free to join him for that. All the fan show as well as Elite Show members, please, again, another message. Send in your fan cams to us. Send in your post-match thoughts, if you have any, to our email, and we'll upload those as quickly as we can tonight for you guys to, spread throughout our lovely Spurs community here in this little neck of the woods. And unless you have any other final talking points, Dave, anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, just quickly. So what's coming up, guys? Make sure you check out the fan cams that people are going to send in to us on the channel. That will be uploaded over the course of the evening. Please listen to their thoughts. Get them in below. If you want to partake, head to the community section now or grab your fan show membership and, get over and find out what it is. Obviously there's more perks for that fan show membership, not just the fan cam. You have another half an hour or so. If that's what you want to do and get involved, please do. Then it's over to me and Jack to jazz it up, put it up. Also, look out for Twitter Reacts. That'll be coming out hopefully tomorrow morning. We are going to do watch-along highlights, but I think it's going to be a bit hard to do today, considering one of the goals we didn't quite get to see, so that won't be out today. And then also Monday, check out our Archie Gray video coming out and give us your comments below. Guys, It's been one big come-by-our session today. I've absolutely loved it. You put me in a great mood. Thank you very much, and thank you to Tottenham. Come on, you Spurs. I'll see you all back here tomorrow. Let's go.
Season's heating up, everyone. Get ready to put your Spurs caps on, your Spurs heads on. We're going to keep plowing, and things are only going to get more exciting. Things are only going to get more hectic with Spurs. So get ready. We have another season coming thick and fast. And we look forward to plenty more content with you guys and plenty more enjoyable experiences. Thank you again for all the support today from anybody that's been a member, that's been sending in their thoughts, anybody that's just decided to pick us as their watch-along destination. We are very appreciative of it. And also thank you to Steve T, Dark Sun G, so many others, Mark Cook as well from earlier, for supporting the channel, as well as plenty of others throughout the day. But we'll be seeing you, everybody. Come on, you Spurs. In the Big Ange we trust. See you next time.
We never...